Any hoozles, good morning, Kinger. Good morning, Mishy. Good morning, Mike. Good morning, Goonies. I hope you're all doing well. Happy Saturday morning. My phone, I just solved it, but my phone did the fucking weirdest thing last night. So my phone's been trying to push an update for days. And because I'm so anxious about updates because of PCs, I've been putting it off. So finally last night, my phone's like, you have to update. So I update my phone, and then after it's done updating, it's like, you don't have a SIM card. And you can't text or do anything on your phone now that you've updated it. Because apparently the update nullified my fucking SIM card. So, right? So I'm like, this is fucking weird. So during movie night, I'm sitting here and I peel my fucking phone case off and break it. Of course I do. It was a cheap phone case, to be honest. But I peel my phone case off to get into the SIM card because I'm like, this is a relatively new phone. I've had it for maybe a year. SIM card's fine. I take it out multiple times, alcohol clean and everything, put it back in. Nothing. My phone just keeps saying no SIM card. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I go into I have Google Fi. So I go into my Google Fi account. My bill's paid. Everything's fine. What the fuck is going on? Like, it says I have active service and everything. Weirdest shit ever. Apparently, I needed to. Sorry, I was turning my fan off. I needed to. I don't know. Nothing told me to do this. This is what irritates me. Like, nothing in the update, no email, no like notification from Google or anything like that. But apparently, along with this update, I had to go onto the Google Fi app and download an eSIM or activate. I don't know what the fuck that is. Download, activate, install, whatever. Something with an eSIM. But nothing told me to do that. Like, I just don't. How do people who know nothing about technology even function in the world? Because I feel like I know a fair amount, and I'm struggle busting my dudes. Like, what the fuck? We love it, we hate it. It's like, it's the necessary evil. This is it's the necessary fucking evil of the world. And it's immediate panic if it doesn't work, because I'm like, what if there's an emergency? What if my family needs to get a hold of me? What if something terrible is happening? Like, you have to have a fucking phone these days, for fuck's sake. I can't not have like, what? So, long story, if you have Google Fi and your phone suddenly just decides it doesn't have a SIM card anymore, you too might have to go into the app and download a digital I don't even know what that means. Did I what does that mean? A SIM card's a physical thing. What's an eSIM? I don't know. Good morning, Smooth. How are you, love? I hope you're doing well. I'm really hoping my ad ran. Twitch is being kind of twitchy this morning, and it's not loading all the way like it should. Just my dashboard. But I guess while that's being twitchy, I have still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 11 videos from yesterday to enjoy because I saved them like a good girl. So we're going to watch those and hang out and wake up for the morning. Exactly. Oh my God, I hate it. I know. It's the worst. It's like anytime it's actually going off, I'm like, can you just shut the fuck up and die? But when it's not working, I'm like, oh God, what if someone died? Also, side note, I tore my case off last night. Like, I'm sure like everybody else, the moment you get a phone case to put it, because, you know, phones are so fucking delicate. I forgot my phone is pink. I don't know if that comes up on camera. It's pink. Why did I get a pink phone? I forgot. Probably so it doesn't blend into my world. I don't know. I mean, just the morning, David. Just I want to watch all the videos people gave me yesterday. I don't want to miss them. I had 2 tentative plans for today, depending on my eye's bugging me again. It's still healing. Like, it's so weird how long an eye takes to heal, but it's still driving me crazy. So I downloaded 2 games to maybe try, but also I have this. It sounds so stupid, but I just desperately need to do it, and I'm really bad at doing it by myself. I'd really like to gut my bookshelf. And I need help. I cleared this to do that. I have the hardest time letting go of books. This is double stacked, 2 layers back. This is so fucking heavy. And it's just years and years and years of like books from the hospital, books from school, books for fun, everything. But I also shove craft shit in there, if you can tell. Like when I'm working here and I'm working quick and I just need to set something down, I'll set it in that fucking bookshelf. So like God knows what's actually hiding in there. Like behind the books. I don't know what's fallen in. Thank you. It used to be a lot better. It's a little fucked up now. Another reason I'd like to cull it. I need help. I need people who aren't attached to my books to be like, Katie, you don't need that book anymore. Like, did you even like that book? Like half of these books I didn't even enjoy. Because I have no room for new books, Vex. I'm not even joking. I have 4 bookshelves in my house and no room. Like I have books on my desk. Because I bought more books. I have no fucking room. I've reached peak velocity, peak volume on books. And I've moved all of these books across the country multiple times. It's disgusting and it's exhausting and it's just too many. It's peak mass, yeah. And this was my sign. I got 2 used books and I can't fit them in. And I was like, okay, it's a problem. I have to. Like, it's a lot of like, there's very special books in there no one could convince me to get rid of in a million years. But then there's like cookbooks I'm never going to use, cookbooks that were gifted to me or something like that. Like, it's a lot in there. And then there's like every fucking D&D manual known to man, of which I have doubles. So I'd like to donate some of them or something, because why the fuck do I need doubles of all my D&D manuals? I don't know. Yeah. Same, Vex. And those are the ones I would never get rid of. Like, I have a lot of first editions and classics back here. I do collect books, but then there's a lot, like, I mean, I could probably just pull one off right now that I just don't want or need. I can see right now I have 2 copies of American Psycho. I can see them. Like, this is the problem. But people give me a book because they know I like the movie or something, and I'm like, that's a precious gift. I never want to get rid of this, and then I never get rid of it, and then I have duplicates of all these fucking books. And it's just upset. I don't hoard. I'm not a hoarder. I purge. I love to purge. I love going through and donating and giving stuff away. And this is reaching peak hoarding point. Donation box time, right? I already found a library in town that will take any book ever, which is the best because I would never throw them away. I couldn't even fathom that. But there's so many fucking libraries in the world that need books. But like, someone the other day was saying took them to a donation. They took their books to a donation bin or like a Goodwill or something, and they turned away all the books. Turned all of them away. It was so weird. Like, they were like, they're all out of date. We don't want them, which I find so bizarre. I buy used books like nobody's business. I'm all about, like, these were like what? This was 25 cents. This was 23 cents. This is actually really good, though. I found this when I was in San Diego. I needed a book because I finished one. It's the book of Who Censored Roger Rabbit, which I had no idea. For one thing, I had no idea Who Framed Roger Rabbit was a book, but also it's a different title, and it's filthy. Oh, it's filthy. It's like a filth noir. I love it. But yeah, I just consume books more. I consume more books than I do food. It's a problem. I really just desperately need to go through it. There's also the tiny library box you can put in your yard. I've seen those around. Like, no shit, the last time I saw one, it actually had a sign on it that said, please don't pee in the book box. Like, why are people like this? Like, it was a beautiful book box out the front of someone's house. It looked like a little library. It had a ton of books in it, and there was a sign that said, please don't pee in our library. Like, what the fuck? Why are people... Why? Why? Dramatic, yes, it was old cookbooks, which is crazy. Because raise your hand if you like to watch people make old cookbook recipes on YouTube. I know there's a bundle of us, because I do it too. I think that shit is so much fun to watch. I know there's people out there buying that stuff. Fucking teenagers, it has to be. It's just such a stupid thing to do. Like, oh, look, a library box. I'm gonna piss in it? Grow up. Oh, no shit, you thought you were close to finishing it? Oh, you're not even close, huh? Old information books, I mean, like, yes and no. I have, do I have it? I have one up here. Uh, this one. Yeah. I could pull off this shelf forever. This is one of my favorite books. And like you said, it's informational, but it's old. We're not going to talk about the fact that there's a bunch of toe tags in this book. For those new to my channel, I used to have a very dark life in my past. Um, it's, the surgical study course, surgery of the colon, rectum, and anus. Questions and answers. And it's a first edition of this really cool old colon rectum surgery book, so I bought it. Well, so here's the thing. Toe tags. I've told you guys this before. I have hordes of these everywhere. When someone dies, we have a kit we get out of the med room, and it's the death kit. And every death kit comes with 4 toe tags. Do you know how many we need? 1. So you end up just doing this with shit and stuffing it in your scrub pockets, and then you go home and you're like, oh. So I use them as bookmarks. We don't have to talk about it. It's fine. 1 per toe. That's what you would fucking think. They give you so much extra shit in that kit. You end up, I have medical shit all around. This is a, it's just shit you stick in your pockets and you don't even realize. This is to secure a ventilator tube to your mouth. It's called a Marpack, but it's essentially adhesive tape to keep your ET tube in your mouth. It's everywhere. I have it all around me. Welcome, Genova. Oh, home again. Slept in a bed instead of a couch. Oh my God. I've only cried once so far today. How do you feel? In your own bed with an iced coffee? That sounds like magic. Vex, that's 100%. Or you drop them. Literally, kits come with like 4 of every item because if I drop something, it's dead. And you guys know that. No one needs to be taught that. If you drop something in a hospital, it's dead. You don't pick shit up off the floor in a hospital. Even if it's for a dead body, you don't. Period. We respect people, even in death. To correct typos, we write on them. I mean, maybe. They always give extras. I always assumed it's if you drop them. Because it's dead. Like, the moment you drop something, it's dead. You cannot touch it anymore. Obviously, like, that's fucking Kate. Like, that should be... That's common sense, right? But yeah, we have a lot of extras. But I have a lot of books like that where it's it's a surgical manual, so anatomically it's not too off point. But it's got some pretty good, like, I don't know, it's weird. I just collect the weirdest shit. I have weird shit. I have boxes of bones and shit, man. I'm a weirdo. Making alerts and things for Dan's sellout. Ooh, oh my God. Oh my God. In a little over a month, he's going to be having a baby. I was literally just hanging out with Dan, I feel like in July, learning that he was pregnant. I cannot believe it's almost December. Holy crap. I'm so excited for him. Them, I should say. I just realized that that was almost promo start. What? It probably doesn't need to be said, but, Dan's one of the most dear, wonderful humans in the world. Please promote. I love Dan beyond reason. How dare you share one of my best, oldest friends in the world in my channel? Dan has literally known me IRL longer than most people in my current life. Like, aside from family, he's probably known me longer than most people. which is crazy. I love Dan. He's an exponential person. He is not pregnant. They are pregnant. Yes, they are pregnant. They are pregnant. Dan would make such a pretty pregnant lady, though. Pregnant person, I should say. How dare you shove my loved ones with the world, right? I mean, if you didn't do it, I would have. Genova knows, but I say this all. This has been my constant, like, ever since I started streaming. I don't see any other streamer as, like, competition or a... I hope you watch All My Friends. Please do. Like, never. If you want to watch Dan, there's nothing I can do to be Dan. You know? That's... And I'm happy, because I love Dan. Call me a fucking weirdo, I guess. But I can't be another person. I just picture Dan lovingly... Oh my god, why? I almost dropped this. Cocky, you bitch! Thank you for the biddies, you generous hoe. Cheers. Lovingly caressing his stomach. He would be. He's gonna be the best dad. I'm really excited for him. Haunted house. Oh, I'm excited for you. Pray that Crispy doesn't throat punch the 20-year-old who chases him. Okay, I will. Side note, have you heard of this haunted house, like, in Kentucky, where people have to sign waivers because you'll get cut and punched and knocked out and shit in this haunted house? And the state's trying to get it shut down or some shit? Because it's essentially consensual torture. I mean, not even. I don't even know. Because you can't leave. There's one that's infamous, apparently. It was on the news recently, and they want to shut it down because it's... I guess it's kind of fucked up. Like, you sign a medical waiver to get in, and then no one makes it through the house, but you can't get out until it's over. Like, you can't get out until sunrise. Has Girls Play done it? It sounds horrid. Like, they will put needles in you. Like, that, the waiver says these things. Like, you can be thrown through a wall. Like, you can be tortured. Like, you're part of the house. I'm all about a haunted house, but no. There's a documentary. I don't know if I want it. Is it creepy? Cheers. It is VR. I agree. It's insecurity. It's all insecurity. That's it. That, like, streaming is such a unique, like, and not a flex on it, but it is unique in that it's not like, you know, on YouTube, there will be phases of YouTube videos where, like, all of the thumbnails look identical. Because every YouTuber is copying the algorithm that's going to get success, which is business, and I'm not shading. Like, that's what you got to do. But when it comes to streaming, there ain't nothing like that. We have a constantly changing thumbnail. We're live. We can't edit out our bullshit. Like, I can't pretend to be somebody else. I never will be able to be somebody else. I'm honored if you want to hang out with my community. But if you want to hang out with somebody else's community, like, that's dope too. No, it's not a call out. It's real. I watch more YouTube than most people. You know me. I binge YouTube, like, true crime and shit like that. And it's just, like, that's the trends I notice on there. Or, like, the format of videos will start to kind of be very similar. But it's the formula for success because people like things that are familiar and easy to metabolize. It's the sitcom of the new era. Sitcoms followed a very specific, you know, formula to create a sitcom. Same thing with YouTube. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just what you have to do. But there is nothing for that for Twitch, really. It's like, you just are who you are, and it's like throwing bait in the water. Good morning, Mag, and hoping to get a bite, I guess? I don't know. Oh my god. Imagine if a trained MMA fighter went in there and just fucked up all the... Oh my god. You know, that was actually the news story you reminded me, Vex, the news story I listened to on it said that the reason people want to get it shut down is that the application process, essentially what they're looking for is the most manipulatable, like, sad people possible. They won't let you in if you're, like, a fit, strong person. They don't accept you into the haunted house or something like that. I don't know how legit that is. I don't know. PC builds? Oh god, they're so sexy. I almost just sent a text to my brother in chat. Oh. I've done that no shit when we're in movie night. Because I have 2 keyboards, 2 PCs, and I'll have, like, Discord on this screen, and then I have the movie here, and then usually like reading emails or something on this monitor, and I'll type on this keyboard to type into Discord, and it'll be an email response to some company, and I'll almost press enter, and I'll realize it says, "You fuck twats are so crunchy," or some shit like that, and I'm like, oh my god! Every time, all the time. 2 keyboards is very dangerous. Very dangerous. Good morning, Prime. How are you, love? Oh, did you get your weed? Oh my god, David, did you get your fucking weed? I'm so excited for, I mean, your hypotheticals. You know. Yeah, fuck that place. That's the thing, Vex. It's very, like, it doesn't seem like I can see how there'd be a gimmick with that where it's, you know, the hardcore horror people and whatever, but people actually get hurt and have psychological trauma and come out and go to the hospital. People have had heart attacks in there, like, and they won't let you out until you have basically a fucking heart attack. Which is ridiculous and crazy in my opinion. Oh my god, you guys are weed! Oh dude, it's packaged so interestingly. I love looking at the different packaging. Let's look. So this is Scottish medical weed. Scottish medical weed. So we've got Curaleaf, medical cannabis flower, 10 grams, high silver, THC 21, CBD less than 1. That's a really good percentage. For you guys? Fucking nice. And then what is this? Black Triangle, THC 21, Delta 1. Do you know the percentage on this one? It's so, I know, dude, that's how I felt the first time I ever got an ounce. I was like, this is so much weed, I don't know what to do with myself. Just pace yourself. Just pace yourself. You'll be fine. They're both that percent, they're both the same. Oh no shit, Curaleaf is what you have out there. Curaleaf must be a pretty, I mean, if it's in Scotland and in the US, that must be a pretty prevalent, I mean, that's Arizona, that's a pretty prevalent brand then. So it's, the way that they calculated, Alexis, essentially is, so this is a half ounce at 32% allegedly THC. So it was a full ounce at 32%, it would be allegedly 320 grams of THC. Does that make sense? Allegedly, that would be the math. So the rest of it is just shit you burn, it's carbon. I mean, there's a lot. It sucks. Here's the thing. Like, my weed does it too. It does, like, the breakdown of the terpenes and shit like that. Because weed has been in this category with the American government for so long with heroin, no one could even test it to see what we were doing. Like, we've been just guessing, checking with percentages for so long. So now that we're moving weed out of that stupid schedule level, whatever it is, where it's like, it's so dangerous, we can't touch it, we can finally start testing it officially and actually breaking down what's in it, because there's a lot of different cannabinoids. So THC is just one, like, way of describing what, like, there's THCA, THC blah, blah, blah. There's so many different THC molecules in the weed, but we haven't been able to even study it. We haven't been literally allowed to because the American government dictated it as dangerous as heroin, which means it's so dangerous it has no medical benefit and you cannot test it. You can't do anything with it. So we're finally moving it out of there, so we'll get a lot more information on it. But right now, that's why I always say allegedly. I'm not saying it to be funny. Like, literally, it's allegedly. I've gotten weed that says it's 32%. I've gotten weed that says it's 20%. Both will fuck me up equally. There's really just, it's a crapshoot right now. We're kind of just guessing, checking, but hopefully it starts to get improved soon. Hopefully. So, David, that's 210 milligrams of weed. That's a lot of marijuana. High silver is my day weed, and then Delta is, yes, Delta weed. So the Delta says indica. So indica, a good way to remind yourself, it says pure indica right there. Indica, couch. Couch. Here's the thing though, David. So this is basically what I've been taught via dispensaries and whatnot and weed people. But back in the day, before we were even sperms and weed was being grown illegally and whatever, there was two dominant strain. There was the sativa plant and there was the indica plant. Sativa plants tended to grow really tall and skinny. Indica plants tended to grow really short and fat and bushy. And indica plants tended to need longer to become harvestable, and the longer you grow your weed, the more the THC molecules and the CBD molecules start to mature, and you get more CBD in that weed. And the CBD is the sleepy part. The THC is not the sleepy part, it's the CBD part. So indica, classically, like in the 70s and 80s, yeah, indica would lock you in the couch, and sativa would keep you awake, creative, euphoric, whatever. Because we've literally genetically bred out all of the CBD, in my personal opinion and experience, it doesn't mean fuck all anymore. Indica sativa doesn't mean anything anymore. It's specific strains that do specific, unique things to me. Like, for instance, any strain that has cherry in the name will put me to sleep. No idea why. Probably some fucking THC molecule we have not been able to study or tear out or know what's in it yet. But anything that has cherry in the name makes me tired. It doesn't mean it's indica, though. It's not always indica. It doesn't make sense. Like, we've kind of just made that not really a thing anymore. With all of the hybriding. No shit. The old way it would have cost $200, 200 pounds, and now it's 120. That is fantastic. 100% prime. Dosage is so different, and tolerance, like, for instance, like, my tolerance obviously is fairly high. I smoke all day, every day. But I only need about a week to completely eliminate my tolerance. Gone. 7 days with no weed, I am a fucking pure baby, and I get rocked out of my fucking skull. For some people, it can take months for that same effect. And I don't know if that's high metabolism. I don't know if it's because I'm really active. I run all the time. I have no idea. But it's totally different. It's different depending on the person, really. Yeah, it's very metabolically individualistic. Buried in the couch for an hour and then I'm good, spaced out. Yep, that's the shit. Every strain that has pineapple in it, in the name, smells like cat piss to me, and I won't smoke it. See? What is that? It's so weird. It's just particular strains. But in my experience, again, I have literally, this is sativa, and this is an indica. This bowl is indica. Like, I grind up indica at nighttime, and that's what I smoke, but that's usually what my stoner bowl is in the morning, is indica, and I'm not. I'm like, literally look like a tweaker half the time. It doesn't put me out at all, but it's personal. Strains that have berry or the name blueberry in them tend to make me a little sleepy, or a little just slower. Like, they kind of, I can feel myself going in a little slow motion. Oh, this is the terpene shit. Timeline of cannabis laws in the United States. Oh my god, so what's the most recent one? The medical marijuana and cannabidiol. I'm so bad at that word. Research Expansion Act is signed into law to allow cannabis to be more easily researched for medical purposes. It is the first standalone cannabis reform bill enacted on the federal level. So that's what I was talking about, in that now we can actually start legitimately testing it legally. Like, scientists can go into the science of marijuana and test it and get more and more specific as to, and look into the medical benefits. Because I'm sure, like, the different THC, I'm doing it with my fucking coffee, but the different THCs in it probably have different alleviation levels for pain versus anxiety versus nausea, dizziness, all of the things that a lot of us use weed for. We could be, what's the word, like, getting a better bang for our buck if we knew the more specifically, like, oh, that's the terpene that really helps anxiety. That's the one I look for, Beth knows really good strains that help. She let me hit her vape when we were at TwistCon. I made a joke in the Discord. I found my new dealer. It's my doctor. You want to know what's really funny? My dealer in Baltimore was a doctor. Cheers! It would, I feel like it would make the pricing of weed make more sense. Because right now, it's like, you guys know I bitch about it all the time, but like, this was under $100. This is a full ounce of marijuana. Before I started smoking it. It's a half ounce each. But it was $90. That's crazy. But if I was to buy like 10 different strains that came in little individual pots like this, it would have easily cost me like $300. because the pricing isn't designated towards the effects of the weed or the actual like quality or if it's going to get you more high or not. It's just like this one smells more like berry and we put it in specific little pots for you so it's more expensive versus like if they actually go into the various terpenes that are like painkiller terpenes versus anxiety versus go to sleep versus et cetera, it would make, I feel like there'd be more sense to it. I get my ounces for around 50 to 60. It's insane. And no shit, what I was paying in Baltimore was some between $200 and $300 an ounce, depending. That's about what an ounce cost on the street in Baltimore. I think he's in bed with his father because neither of them are with me. I don't have either of them. They've pouted out. Drugs make the world go round. I mean, they definitely make my brain go round. How are you, Omarid, by the way? I hope you're doing well. He was very clingy this morning. I'm kind of shocked he actually abandoned me. We have, I think, like 9 videos that I saved from yesterday. If I didn't play it, throw it, because I have some links from today, too. Hold on, I'm going to clean up a few things, because there's a lot. Clean. I don't have too many, it's a few. Oh, the sky is my room, or maybe home. The sky is, I like that. It's German, right? Okay, is it going to show the right screen? Probably not. How do you feel, Viana? Jello? Yeah. How can you eat it? No. There isn't. It doesn't matter if I told you the way she ate salad or I made up a different way. There's not a weird way to eat salad. As long as you're not eating it off someone else's plate. If it's your food, fuck off. They're weird, right? Like, mind your own. Right? Is the salad in your mouth? I feel like that. I'm not kidding you guys. She leaves the dressing on the side and dips her salad. That's it. This is what people have found so bizarre. That multiple different people at different occasions have been like, what a weird way to eat. So then Vis feels self-conscious about eating her fucking salad. Like, why? I've done that my whole life. The only difference is she doesn't put it on a fork. She dips it with her hands. She's got tiny little hands. Like, who the... It's not... Right? I could have literally made up the weirdest thing possible, and it still would have been fine. It's just things like that I get viscerally angry about, because no one's ever done that to me. No one comments on how I eat my food, or what I eat, or why, or whatever. So I'm just waiting for it to happen around me to be like, mind your own, fucker. Fucking A. It's weird to me. It's weird. The weird thing is that you're focusing on someone else's shit. Like, if she was, like, eating like a cow and fucking food was falling out of her mouth and she was, like, with the ranch, you know, like, oh, bitch! And, like, fucking massaging it into her nipples in the middle of an Olive Garden? Sure. Then maybe a close friend or loved one can approach and say, hey, Vince, what's up? But barring those circumstances, get the fuck on your own plate, eyeballs. Probably still wouldn't have said anything, except this is a show. At McDonald's, that's fine, but not... That's true. At Olive Garden, you have to use their vinaigrette. My bad. Ketchup on a hot dog, man. I won't out loud judge, but in my head, I want to puke. It's grossing me out what you're doing. I don't know why you're doing it. It's grossing me out. But you know what? You do you, boo-boo. I ain't here to judge food. I don't eat steak in front of groups because I like it. Like jerky and people act like I kick their dog about it. Oh my God, Bezabelli, do you want to know a fun study that I recently learned about that you can use as ammo if people want to come at you? This was great. They, like, some culinary school or whatever actually did this study where they did a blind taste test of steak. And they tried determining what doneness people actually like versus what their pretentiousness dictates. And 9 times out of 10, those fuckers, they're like, I like my steak bloody and mooing. Actually liked it more close to medium well. The vast majority of human beings prefer steak medium well to well done when blind, which I thought was fucking hilarious. Hilarious. So, like, toss that one out next time someone wants to judge you. People can fuck off. I don't understand that. I don't understand pretentiousness around eating food. There's not a right. If you're eating food, good job. We have to do that to survive. You're doing great. Like, leave people alone. All of that is weird. That's how you like feed into people's eating disorders and stuff like that. You never know who's going through what upstairs. Don't comment on people's food and leave them the fuck alone. Me neither, C-Town, because there isn't. What's the South Park method? Wait, what's white supremacy? Oh my god, I missed something. I missed it. Did I miss it? My dad used to make it super well, and I never understood why people like steak until I had it done medium well. And that's, my family makes it like jerky, and I don't like it that way. I like it like medium rare, medium-ish. Sorry, music just came out of nowhere because someone's bitrate just came back. Not bitrate. You know what I mean. Internet. And I didn't like it like jerky, but that doesn't mean it's wrong to eat that way. Steak supremacy. Oh. Yeah, if you're boofing food, we need a conversation. All that shit. C-Town, I swear to God, every food influencer just wants to come up with the new magic diet. Every time one comes across my fucking Instagram or something like that, they're all touting some carnivores back, fruitarians back, raw vegetarian boof, your food is back, eat sunlight and gargle Windex, it's back. It's fake virality, like just eat everything within moderation, balance. And don't eat things you're allergic to, obviously, like Jesus fucking Christ. If you got celiacs, like, there ain't no moderation with that, but Jesus, I love you, Vissy. Be safe, girl. I got a new magic diet. Sprinkle glitter on all your food, poop sparkles. Oh my god, there's actually a chef on YouTube that calls salt food glitter. I like that. I think of it as food glitter now. Yeah, same, Kino. I like a crust on the outside of my steak, but I don't want it raw, especially not cold in the middle. Absolutely not. In the words of ClassyKatie, it's not that serious. It's super not. People, it's... Count your calories! I feel like I need to dangle off something in the background before I say that, but... Yeah. Some don't pay attention to anything unless it's controversial. I feel bad for them. Man, I've never delved into raw... The world of anything raw other than raw fish, sushi, obviously. But like the raw beef and stuff, there's a lot of cultures all over the world that are all about like some sort of beef tartare shit. I don't know if I'll ever be there with that. The texture. Oof. It's not the concept of it. Like, I'm not against good quality meats being uncooked, undercooked, etc. I've just been present for too many surgeries. And, like, no matter how many spices and stuff you throw into raw meat until it hits the flame, it just kind of smells like you threw some allspice onto a dead body. I don't know. There's something just like horrifically visceral about raw meat. Like, that's all we are. No shocker. But on the inside, we're just raw meat. And when we like suction the blood away from an area that we're working on because we don't want it to be flooded and we don't want it bloody and etc., the smell of body tissue when blood is lacking smells like meat. It smells like meat. We smell like sausage. Like pork. It's weird and visceral. until it hits the fire, and then you smell like a C-section. But, cheers. Don't eat raw pork. Amen. Trichinosis is real. %. It is. Stronlin, that's what I'm saying. I have nothing morally against it or like mentally like, ew, raw meat. Like none of that. It's the same with latex. I could never be with someone who had a major latex fetish, for instance, because latex for me since childhood has been medicine. Both my parents worked in medicine. They came home and their hands smelled like fucking latex and alcohol. I went into medicine. Latex, anything latex, the sound, the smell, the way it sounds when you snap it, medicine, sickness. I just smell sickness and decay. I could never do it. No matter how much my partner was into it and wanted to be wrapped in latex, I'd be like, I can't fuck you after this because you smell like death. It's just association. They do eat raw pork, at least in Germany. They probably have way higher food standards. Because, like, the reason you're not supposed to eat raw pork in the States is because it's riddled with trichinosis from factory farms. Now, I've heard that we have pumped the factory farm pork full of so many antibiotics that as long as you cook your pork to a certain temperature, you essentially, it's so disgusting, and I'm so sorry to say this out loud, but you have killed the eggs of the trichinosis, but it's still in the pork. So if you undercook your pork and you leave it rare, then the trichinosis eggs can birth within your intestines, and then you can get tapeworm or some sort of worm. I don't want to say tapeworm because I'm not 100. It's pretty fucking gross. But that's like the low quality fucking factory farm nasty. Like, allergic. Maybe I should just say that from now on. I saw people putting raw pork in a jar and setting it in the fridge and... What? Don't. I mean, I know you won't do that, but like, what? I saw people putting raw pork in a jar and setting it on the fridge and leaving it for months and then eating it to get high. Help?
Try to relax your anus.
I hope they're all right. That sounds like fucking food poisoning. No, thank you. No. It's like flash freezing pork. Exactly. I mean, pork fish. It's like flash freezing fish. Like, there's no such thing. You're never eating sushi that hasn't been frozen. It's flash frozen. It has to be to kill the parasites and shit like that. You can also sterilize meats with radiation. Irradiated. For what? I don't want to know. Wait, FWID, the incidence with of trichinosis in the US is definitely much lower than it was back in like the day. I typically only cook pork to 150 nowadays. The pink is loosely gone, but it's still juicy then. I don't even know. Is it supposed to, what is pork supposed to be? 145? I thought pork was only supposed to be, I think 145. Poultry is 165, right? Oh, is pork 165 too? Man, it's been a bit. Yeah, I haven't taken food safety since I was in high school. I'm pulling out of the depths of my wrinkles. It's been a bit. I mean, just be consciously safe with how you cook your food. But if you get trichinosis, you have to take a picture of the worms coming out your butt because I have to see it. I've never got to see it. I just need to. So no shade. Just come and tell us it happened, and we need to. I'd like to see it. That's the deal. Undercook your pork, but you got to share your pork. You know what I'm saying?
Try to relax your anus.
V, can I say yes? Is that too much? Can we ask for both? I haven't seen anyone get trichinosis yet, but it doesn't mean it can't happen. I'm not encouraging. I don't derp, dude, no shit. When I was in college, we took a friend of mine out to a steak dinner, and one of the people that came with us, like the group, I don't know if they were trying to be fucking special, but they ordered their steak blue. What's that? What's that? Thank you, V. Honestly, it's something that just is like, I haven't got to see it. I would love to. If it's gonna happen, might as well. Yeah, like a live photo, exactly. So like maybe, you know how in the coconut story there's that one line, what was it? One even tries to wriggle in the penis head or something. But it'd be the opposite because it'd be out your butt. Just like a little. Wait, smaller. You know what I'm saying? Literally northbound. It was purple. It was purple. It looked gelatinous and raw. It was gross. She ate like a quarter of it with a smile and then couldn't get through any of it and took it home and microwaved it. But I mean, nothing about that looked appealing. Either you do a raw dish or don't. What is that? It was gross. It looked gross. It was like literally like the outside of it just had white. You know when you burn yourself on the grill and it does like that white strike on your hand, that quick burn, you got off quick enough. It's not a deep burn, but it gets the top layer. That's what the steak looked like. It was those like translucent white, like, and just purple. But she was like, I love it raw. I like it bloody. When she bit it, it crunched. Okay. Seriously? Should I? Blue is where it's literally cold in the middle still. Like, I think that's a stipulation. The meat is cold. Hold on. I have to moo at something. Yeah, it's cold, right? Fucking disgusting. I'm packing a bowl. Hold on. I take it medium any fucking day. Why did I moo? Is there a reason I've mooed at somebody? All right. Do they? Man, I kind of thought I looked like a fucking clown. I looked at myself tonight. I was like, all right, Katie. I obviously dress. I'm like a child who dresses themselves in the dark. Red chucks. Fucking like lily leggings. And a rainbow this. Oh, and then that. Like, this is what your 7-year-old comes down the stairs in, like, just waiting for you to be like, absolutely not. Put something else on. I've seen a horn or two. I do. I look like a clown. I get dressed in the dark. I don't even look. It's terrible. It's just like, is it cold out? More layers. Let's go. The red shoes are the look. That's the clown. Yeah, that's the part that really hits. Oh, Viana, hard same. I remember, I think I was in either kindergarten or first grade, but my mom would let me go to school with fake press-on nails that were blue with white polka dots and very long. And every finger had like a jelly ring on it. Do you remember those? They were like rubber, like jellies. If you remember jellies, like the shoes, they were made out of the same shit, I swear to God, but they were rings. I had one on every finger. And I went to school like, I don't have to do schoolwork today because of this. And they were like, absolutely not. And they called my mom. But she definitely let me try. It was jelly everything. The rings were my favorite because of the texture, the weird texture. She'd always let me try. I never got away with it, but I could try. Hi, bud. Good stretch. Cheers. Man, I coveted Lisa Frank. I don't think I ever owned anything actually Lisa Frank because it was expensive. And we were not wealthy. But oh my God, did I want everything Lisa Frank ever. Rainbow unicorns and raccoons and kittens and bunnies. Are you kidding me? Everything I've ever wanted. But so expensive. I've never been able to handle bracelets. I can't stand having shit on my wrists. I feel like probably because desk stuff, they just hit stuff and get stuck on stuff. Never been able to take it. No shit. The one thing I don't order from restaurants unless I've seen them sending tons of orders out, mussels. Those things need to be stored in a specific way to keep them from making someone sick. Like, different from other mollusks? What's like, I live in the middle of the country, so I don't do seafood. Here, that's just idiotic. Where's it coming from? But, like, I never had the rings that twisted together and became one ring, but I had a good amount of, quarter, like, gumball machine mood rings. My moods were always the same. It was whatever the hottest fucking thing is. I had one year where my father actually paid child support, so my mom was able to get me a Lisa Frank. The Trapper Keeper. You were the coolest girl in school, Bezabelli. Coast people. Yeah. It's this, I mean, in my opinion, knives, of the, like, shelled mollusk foods, I think mussels are the best. They have the best flavor over, like, clams or oysters. I'd take a mussel, which is why I went, why mussels? Is it different? Because, like, that's the best one in my opinion. It has the better flavor. But I don't know. Now I'm nervous. Fuck squid. They have such a fucking short lifespan. Seriously, it's like less than a year. They're just like bugs. Octopus I don't eat anymore though, which is weird. They're too smart. It makes me feel gross. Like raw? Dude, the last time I ate a raw oyster, it was like eating someone's cum wad whom had drank battery acid as a regular diet for a few weeks and sprinkled lemon juice on it. I was just like, why would anyone do this? It's like the moment jizz coagulates, oysters. To each their own, but I don't get it. Trapper Keepers were a piece of shit. They were literally only 1-inch spines. Yeah, Trapper Keepers, but they looked so cool. And, like, the rich kids usually had one for every class. I didn't have any. I had 5-star spirals. Off-brand 5-star spirals. The normal comp books. More or less the same like clams and oysters. Slotted pan with a drain pan under them, covered in a towel, and then ice. They need to be kept cold and then also check before you cook them. Ooh, this way they don't sit in their own piss. Jesus. Same, Berserker. Like, it's, I mean, at best, it's traveling on a truck from somewhere. I just don't trust it. Yeah, I'm not against raw oysters. I wish. It seems like a fun thing to go do with friends, but that's just, like, and people are like, no, you have to put some Tabasco sauce on it. I'm like, no, no, no. I know what the base flavor is here. It's salty, gelatinous protein. You don't see me throwing fucking Cholula on a cock. But to each their own. They're actively on life support at that point. They're put out of water and need to be cooked fresh. I mean, I would assume that's, I mean, honestly, I don't know how you would do that as a restaurant. Unless you lived on the water and you just had a constant, someone like, how would you even do that? How would you keep them like constantly fresh? Like the rotation of them and whatnot. Kind of explains why seafood's so expensive, to be honest. The pizza place we found, hold on. Wait, the first one with the drunk girl? That pizza was delicious. Happy 420 and cheers. That was really good pizza. I put Cholula on almost anything, but I wouldn't put it near a mucous membrane. Yeah, that pizza, I was trying to think, wasn't it kind of like, I don't, it was kind of thick crust, but like, deep dish. It was crispy. Right? The seafood at Pike's Place Market is top tier. That's fresh off the boat every day. And the prices show. I mean, but that's the prices you have to pay to get fresh stuff like that. And to like, because if you think about it, if they're risking maintaining a fresh stock, then things not bought at the end of the day, they have to trash or do something with. And that's just lost money because they still have to pay the fishermen for what they took off the boat, right? I would assume. Is it Detroit style? Is that what it is? Where it's like a thicker crust, but it's not like, it wasn't Chicago style. And it was crispy, like it was almost like you could tell there was oil in the pan that it was cooked in, and it like crispified the dough. It was really good. And it wasn't, I think it was cut square. I think it was Detroit. Yeah. I think it was Detroit. Yeah. It was delicious regardless of how it was cooked. Most of the time when I get takeout, I end up microwaving it anyways, just because I like to eat hot food. Loaf pizza? What's that mean? It wasn't that thick. It was just like significantly thicker than the thin crust East Coast pizza I'm used to, where it's like a cracker that you either eat like a cracker or you fold it in half, depending. Air fryer's the shit, right? Yeah, I either air fry it or nuke it or put it in the oven. I heat it up. If I get takeout or eat something, I most of the time heat it up because I just want hot food. I've never had a Chicago deep crust pizza in my life that I've enjoyed because no matter what, it's not hot. And I just got done saying I like hot food. It's never hot. And there's something about all that sauce and all the toppings in that like pie, the crust never cooks. And I don't know if they don't pre-cook the crust or something like that, but there's always like this layer of raw dough in the middle at the bottom. So if you cut the pizza like a pie, your pointed corner is raw dough. Or it's cooked and just wet and soggy dough, which either is disgusting to me. I've never had it that type. I guess I've never had pizza in Chicago, so I'm going to say Chicago-style pizza outside of Chicago, imitation, whatever. I'm sure someone does it right. But I've never had it where I'm like, yum. He's seeping. Oh, you can't even see him more if I moved it? That's all yeah, that's his ass. I can see his creepy eyes, like... He senses us talking about him. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, Chicago style pizza isn't bad. I've never had a good one. Hi, sweet boy. This is like your 4th visit today. I'm not complaining. I didn't mean to wake you up. I just looked at you. You're so cute, though. You're so sweet. Yeah, it's just, and it's like, I don't know how they're supposed to cook it, but I would assume you would pre-cook the crust kind of like a pie. Why do you always pull my headphones off? Every time. Chicago deep dish the casserole, there are some decent frozen ones, but fresh is way better. Well, I would 100%. I would want it to be a fresh one. I would assume that would be better. It's the basic explanation for Detroit. Detroit-style pizza is rectangular pan pizza with a thick, crisp, chewy crust. It's delicious. That might be my second favorite pizza. Right? I swear to God, C-Town, it's like they notice we breathe differently. Like the fact that we've turned, we're now breathing in a new direction and they know. It's so bizarre. I barely turned it. I just look at him and I watched his eyelid open and he wakes up. Was that seriously the place? Good fucking find. It was Sicilian. I guess they're calling it Sicilian, but yes, it was square panned pizza and it was delicious. But like, I could barely eat half of one slice. That's how like dense it was. Granted, I ate like a bird, but it was dense. Heavy. I mean, imagine all the bullshit they put up with being on like a bar strip like that. I mean, we saw some of it. That one chick about to like spray. What would they do if she just like projectile puked all over the pizza? What do they do? I'm sure that's happened at some point. Hi. Do we have to tear the kitchen apart today? Yeah. We're thrilled. Pull the map and navigate from landmarks. I remember, dude, nice. I mean, it'll be nice to know, though, if they keep TwitchCon in the same area. At least we'll know good places to eat. I don't know if she ever got any pizza. Does that hand taste good, bud? All right. Thank you. You're the best. Thanks, bud. I was so dirty without you. Thank you. All right. It is. It's guaranteed at the convention center for 2 more years. That's fucking nice. You know what we didn't do this year that's on my list? We didn't do karaoke. I don't think we found karaoke. We found that one bar with loud music, which was dope, but we didn't find karaoke and we never found sushi. That was something I was sad because I very rarely am on the coast where there's good sushi and I didn't have it. I gotta do that. You like sushi? Do you like sushi? Good. Stop that. No pork cutlets. I know. I was bummed. That's the shit I wanted to find. Like, we just don't. We live in the middle. In Colorado, we don't get the good stuff. So I gotta go to the coast and I didn't have it. And that was the bummer. But it'll be here before we know it. I feel like life just gets faster and faster and suddenly you're dead. And that's just it. So my sink fell in again. And when the sink fell in again, it hit the new garbage disposal. And the new garbage disposal shoved the entire, like, base panel of the under the sink cupboard down in half, the particle board. So I ripped the whole front of the sink off and ripped the sink out, and I'm just going to tear it out. Just going to tear it all out. That's what I'm doing today. I'm really excited. But I don't have any fucking water, and I'm really tired of eating out. I just want to have a kitchen. No, I'm not. We're having a snuggle. The cabinet was already a piece of shit. I mean, it's so shittily done. I couldn't even describe it to you how bad it is. Like, I'm better off. I feel gross letting them deliver a brand new beautiful dishwasher into this space right now, because once we pulled all of that out, there's just like gaps between the floor and the wall where it just like goes to the subflooring and under the house. Like, God knows what's been getting into my house through there. There's floor water damage because someone's bright fucking plan was to put real wood floors into a kitchen under the dishwasher and the sink. So all of that is damaged. Like, literally like the walls of the inner cupboards are just peeling. It looks like dead skin or like tree bark is just peeling off because of all the humidity and water damage down there. Nothing was done waterproof, humid proof, etc. It's rotted. Like, it's rotting down there. It's healthier and better off to yank it all out. You know what I mean? It would feel gross. It would feel like just sweeping shit under a rug, literally, to shove anything in there, like any appliance right now. I'm going scorched fucking earth on it. I don't know what else to do. One-handed, I can just pull a panel off the cupboards. It just rots off. I just pulled this off with one hand. It's just rotting off. It's disgusting. Yeah. It's disgusting. It's fucking... This place needs to be bulldozed. It won't be, but it needs to be. That's the front of my counters. I can just keep pulling pieces off of it. It doesn't matter, because none of it's touching the marble. So, like, if this is the marble countertop, it's only held up by another chunk of marble like this. The countertop's like 10 feet long. It's pretty fucking long. And then the cupboards are just sitting on the ground under it. So there's this gap like that, but it's like this. Like, drastically slanted. And all of those cabinets are not secured. They're not fastened in any way, shape, or form. They're just sitting on the wood floor. I'm just discovering this because everything went bad, so I'm having to yank it out anyways. It's a fucking stupid-ass shitstorm, so it's just, I'm better off just yanking it all out. There's nothing to be done. I'm not going to stick a brand new dishwasher in there. They were literally slid on the ground. I can see the scratch marks. They were pushed in. Absolutely not, Vex. I'm not. I have a stud finder, and I've run it across this wall, which is about 25 feet long, and I have yet to find a stud. No. I have no idea. It's horrid. 100% no black mold. There's some strange things on the sub wall that I need to take pictures of and check. I don't know what it is yet, but if it's black mold, I'm burning it down. I can see the air compressor and the nail gun bedazzled already. Bitch, I'm into it. I've got everything ready. Like, last night, before and after movie night, I was scraping all the adhesive I put on off of the sink again. It's great. I love it. I love putting work into it, this house. It really seems like nothing. I've drilled holes into the walls, obviously, like hang photos and stuff, and there is insulation. It comes out on the drill. You can see it. But they're thin as fuck. Like, really thin. I don't have the money for the renovations it truly needs. Like, it needs the floors. The floors actually do, like, this kind of shit. Like, there's a hump in the middle of my living room here under the carpets that I kind of have to vacuum in a weird way around just to get every part of the carpet there. The floors are so fucked. Like, it's a bottom-up kind of thing. I personally think this chunk of property will be sold to someone who's going to bulldoze this home. It's like a triple lot with one tiny ass house on it. Someone's going to buy this for the land. They're going to split it up into 3 lots because it's close to a school. And they're going to sell it off as 3 lots for people who have kids. That's what I would do if I was a builder. I wouldn't put any money or time into this house. Like, at this point, it's don't get sick, don't have black mold, I don't want to die. But, like, I've slowly been doing that one section at a time, and it just keeps compounding on itself. Like, the house is, I want to say, over 50 years old. And it's been, you know, fixed up here and there because there was allegedly a fire or whatever. But, like, for instance, the ceilings started to, the walls started to settle away from the ceilings. So all of my ceilings started to detach from the walls, or the walls were detaching from the ceilings. So I've slowly been playing this horrid catch-up game with spackle, which is why I fucking hate spackle. Trying to spackle these literal cracks where it shows how the house is settling in a weird way, which is why the floor is uneven, because I don't think the fucking foundation was done right. There's a lot. There's like so much structural integrity to this home. I don't know if it'd even be worth someone fixing it up. That, and it's fucking freakishly small. It's smaller than my last apartment. So, and it's not like it's got like, you know, antique, whatever you would call status that anybody would give a fuck about. I think most people would probably just rip this fucker down. The basement's the best part of it. Or it's not even a basement because the ceilings aren't high enough. Cellar? I think the hoarders did it. I think the people that buried all their trash in my fucking yard did it. Yeah, I have no interest in suing anybody. Scott had nothing to do with it. Like, he didn't build this house and he didn't put any of that in. He just lived here. I just don't want to get sick. That's all I give a fuck about. I just don't want to be sick. Like, if there's black mold in a wall or something like that, that has to be torn out. Like, that is fucked. You cannot live with that. You will die. You will get horrible respiratory infections. Can't live with black mold. Yeah. At this point, it's survival. It's just like keeping, like, at this point, I'm more worried about sealing the house up for wintertime. Because God knows how much fucking heat we've just been blowing out into the universe with all these weird cracks between the wall and the floor and stuff like that. The people that owned the house before Scott were hoarders, and they were going to have the house foreclosed because of their hoarding. And so instead of foreclosing the house, they just buried all their garbage in the yard. So every time I go outside and plant a plant or something, I end up digging up shards of glass and toy parts and t-shirts from like the 70s. I have like a collection of weird G.I. Joes and stuff from the 80s, 70s. 80s, I think G.I. Joes mostly. But only like arms, disembodied torsos, legs. Never a head. Haven't found a head yet. But yeah, glasses I've found out there, a fishing pole, bones. It's great. It's great fun in my yard. My apartment was built in the 1920s. It's structurally fine. A little damp, but I don't think this was built to be, I think this was literally put down to be a temporary home. And people just have kept it going. Just trying for ages and ages and ages. I think that's pretty much at this point yeah. I don't know. Like, I'd need to pay professional builders at this point to tear this place up, and I will never be of that financial level, so I just deal with the fact that when people come over, I'm like, don't worry, that lump in the carpet's normal, don't trip. Something's going on in the subflooring where it does this. And we just live with it, because what do you do? What do you do? I don't know. Nothing. But on that note, I might take off 20 minutes early and just go start working on that because I still have to chisel off like 3 pounds of cement Loctite cock. And tear more of my kitchen out. Yay! I'll take pictures though, because it looks really bad right now. Like, it looks so disgusting. So much water damage. It looks like you wouldn't want to touch it. It looks really gross. I'll take pictures, and then I can measure my success on what I can get it to look like. Oh, the horathon for the pre-baby times. Yes. No. We have to raid Dan because who was it? Genova was in here promoting domestic Dan in my channel. Just don't know how to feel about that. Who the fuck is that guy even? The audacity. The sheer will. I know. Lucky son of a bitch. On that note, if you don't know Domestic Dan by now, I have no idea. I rate him all the time. He's one of my dearest and oldest friends here on Twitch. For real, for real. I love the guy. I literally do have to go start tearing my kitchen out and chiseling it because I haven't had a sink in like a month now. And I just am so tired of doing dishes in my bathtub. I'm just tired and stressed in general. So I'm going to go unleash some rage on my kitchen. Take care of yourself. Smoke good weed. Eat good food. I don't know. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Maybe we'll gut this. Life is good. It can always get worse. Shut the fuck